Good morning, everyone. My name is Bridget Murillo, and I'll be presenting about setting boundaries. So first off, I want to start off with the definition and the types of boundaries that there are. So boundaries are when we set limits and rules for ourselves within relationships. So for example, in the picture that is on the left, there are types of boundaries. So there's different types of boundaries such as financial, emotional, and mental, internal, physical, verbal, and sexual. Each boundary is a bit different, and you can see that it has an explanation. Financial boundaries are giving or lending to others, and emotional and mental are thoughts, feelings, values, views, and opinions. Internal self-regulation, skills, limits, energy expended on self versus others. Physical is personal space, your body, your privacy. Verbal is how others talk to us and how we talk to others. And sexual is giving consent, sharing details, setting limits. Now, if you look on the picture to the right, it says 4 types of boundaries. So we know that there are different types of boundaries that we can set, and there's different ways that we can implement them. So for example, there's soft, rigid, spongy, and flexible. Soft has difficulty identifying and setting boundaries, where rigid tends to put up walls instead of boundaries. And then spongy, it uses a combination of soft and rigid boundaries. And flexible, it can communicate through boundaries fairly easy. So each one is very different, and it can intertwine between each other. Now that you know that there are different types of boundaries and there's different ways that you implement those boundaries, please take a moment and realize and reflect what type of boundaries are you setting and how are you implementing them. Sometimes setting boundaries can be hard, especially when it's with your loved ones, your friends, anyone that is close to you. So some things that you can say to smooth out the feeling of uncomfortableness could be, I'm not comfortable with this. Please don't do that. Not at this time. I can't do that for you. This is not acceptable. This doesn't work for me. I'm drawing a line. There are also many phrases that you can use, and it can also be appropriate for each boundary that you are trying to communicate to others. Other things that can help you with setting boundaries is use confident body language. You face the other person, you make eye contact, use a steady tone of voice at an appropriate volume, not too quiet and not too loud. Also be respectful, avoid yelling, using put downs, or giving the silent treatment. It's okay to be firm, but just make sure that they know what you want and just say it in a respectful way. The next one could be plan ahead. Think about what you want to say and how you will say it before entering a difficult discussion. This can help you feel more confident and avoid any stutters or anything along those lines. Lastly, you can compromise when appropriate. Listen and consider the needs of others. You never have to compromise, but give and take is part of a healthy relationship to figure out a balance. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the benefits of setting boundaries. It avoids burnouts from having too much on your plate and feeling the need to have to do things for others. You become more assertive. You set your guidelines. Don't let anybody cross those boundaries. It can be difficult, but with practice and knowledge behind your boundaries, it will help you get through it. And then be more self-aware. Be self-aware of what you were giving and what you were receiving from others. If you were giving too much, maybe reconsider and see what your boundaries are and if you're crossing those boundaries. Thank you for your time. I hope this was beneficial for you, and I hope that you continue setting boundaries so that you never feel burnt out or overwhelmed.